Hello and good morning. Welcome to this class. My light is not very good. I need more light. Okay. There we go. That's a bit better. I do need to change my position at some point. So good morning, everyone. I hope you are well. Thank you for joining me this morning. This is a beginner class. And this week we are on Unit 8. Unit 8, page 68. So Unit 8, page 68. If you turn to that page, good morning. Okaha Min, I cannot say your name, so I'm going to say OM. O for your first name, M for your second name. Good morning, OM. I am just going to share this video with everyone so more people can join. And we also have Maria Rojas. Maria, I'm just going to say Maria. Good morning, Maria. Thank you for joining. So yes, this is a beginner class, Unit 8, page 68. And the video is now shared. I hope you are all well and you are not all too bored. So, and we also have LVScom. Hi, Richard. How are you doing? Thank you for asking, LVScom. I am doing very well. Thank you. How are you doing? I hope you are well. So let us begin. In this unit of the beginner book, we get to look at some new words. But more importantly, we are going to look at the present continuous in all forms, questions, and we will look at questions and then answers. We are going to look at verbs as well. So how we can use verbs and link verbs together with other words. And we are also going to develop conversation as well. In this, we will look at maybe how we can develop a conversation when sending messages. Now, just to remind you, today there will be 3 lessons. Today there will be the lessons for today. This lesson, which is for beginners. You then have a lesson in 2 lessons in the afternoon. And let me just get the time. At 3:30 there will be a lesson for elementary students, and then at 5 o'clock today there will also be a lesson for pre-intermediate students. Tomorrow, Thursday, at 10 o'clock in the morning there's a lesson for intermediate students. At 2 o'clock there is a lesson for upper intermediate students. And at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, there's a lesson for IELTS students. And then Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning, there will be a lesson for beginner and elementary students. 2 o'clock for pre-intermediate and intermediate students. And then again at 4 o'clock for upper intermediate, advanced and IELTS students. So you can find that information on Facebook. Please like and share the video, and let's begin. So when we are looking at this, we've got where is everyone, and we've also got some words. Now let's go through some words actually, just so we know what we are talking about. So on page 68, we've got to link some words with photos. But I want to look at some of these words just in case we don't know what these words are. The first word, carpets. So we can say, I have carpets on my floors. Now, the carpet would be this in number 1, for example. This here would be a carpet. If you live in cold countries, you will have carpets. If you live in hot countries, you might not have many carpets. Usually, carpets are there to try and keep some heat in, but they're also there to make the place look nice. I have a carpet on my floor, for example. Number 2, it's not working. Okay, it's not working. This is used for electronics, like my phone is not working, my TV is not working. And you can also say, for instance, yeah, it's usually used for technology when technology doesn't work. Draw a picture. I just want to actually say you've got 2 things here. Draw a picture and paint a picture. Now, paint is not in there, but there is a difference. Let's see if I can find, here we go. If you use a pencil, this is a pencil. If you use a pencil, then you draw a picture. If you use a brush, then you paint a picture. So you draw a picture with a pencil and you paint a picture with a paintbrush. So that is something we need to remember. Number 4, wear glasses. I wear glasses, and some of you might wear glasses. Law. Here, this is to do with number 5, law. This is to talk about if an action is good or bad. Okay, they look similar. So they look similar. This means similar is another word for same. So they don't look exactly the same, but they look similar. So, for example, if you see someone who has orange hair and an orange beard, they might look similar to Ed Sheeran. They don't look exactly the same, but they look similar. Look in the fridge. Okay, that's just the verb. You open the door and you look in the fridge. It's like if I say, look, you can look in the fridge, you can look at the TV, you can look out the window. Prepositions, actually. Look in the fridge, look out the window, look at the TV. So we need to remember there are different prepositions that we can use with look. Look on. Look on your phone. Anything to do with technology, like your phone, your computer, is on. Look in your book. If it's a book, then you look in a book. So we've got many different prepositions we can use with look, and you need to know what the context is. So for instance, you can say, look at the car. This means you are outside the car and you are looking at, it means you are looking, at the outside, looking at the outside of the car. If you say, look in the car, then you're looking at what is inside the car. So the prepositions that we use with certain words, like look, make a really big difference, and we need to learn which preposition goes with which noun. Look, in, and so actually this goes with a lot of verbs. So when you learn the verb plus pronoun, plus preposition that goes with the object. So this is something that when you learn a new verb and you are linking to an object, we need to know what the preposition is. If we need a preposition, we don't always need a preposition, and we need to know what it goes with. I think I need to change my setup here because the color, I need more light because I know you guys can't see me very well. So I'm just going to change position. Okay, this should be better. There we go. I think this is better now. Yeah, this is better. Okay, I'll do it like this from now on. So that is what we need to remember. When we are looking at new verbs, we need to make sure we've got the verb, we know the type of prepositions we can use, and what we can use with the object. So this is normal with certain words. For instance, look is a really good example of a verb. So you look at something, you look in something, you look out the window, for example. So you can look out the window. So there's a lot of context that we need to look at. But remember, with the new word, with a new verb, sometimes we need a preposition, and the preposition goes with a certain noun, and we need to look at the way the word links. We will look at that more. Next one, leave my keys in the park. Okay, leave my keys in the park. Okay, so here, when we're looking at keys, we've got here, we've got number 8 over here, number 8. The question would be, this is when you don't have your keys. So if you don't have your keys, the question is, where did you leave your keys? That's the question. And the answer, the past of leave is left. So leave and left. So I left my keys in the park. Or I left my keys at home. I left my keys in the car. Again, we can see that the preposition is going to change depending on the object. So if the object of my sentence is different, the preposition goes with the environment of the object. So it's worth remembering: in the park or at the park, at home, in the car. It makes a difference with the context. If you have any questions, please ask. 9, chairs. Quite simply, where's the chairs? 9, here we go. Chairs. We've got leave the dishes in the sink. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, leave the clothes on my bed. Leave the food on the table. Why left and not forgot? And not forget. Okay, in the context of before, Philippe, if you forget your keys, you still leave your keys somewhere. So forget is to do with your memory. Leave is the action. And that's why we use it in different ways. So I can say, I forgot my keys. I left them at home. So remember, forget or forgot is to do with up here. It's your memory. Leave is the action of where the keys are. Now, in this case, for instance, does that should answer your question. If you want me to give you another example, Philippe, please ask and I'll give you more examples. Again, it's a bit like, let's say, your bag or your wallet or your phone, for example. So I went out and I forgot my phone. I left my phone in my bedroom. So forget is up here, your memory. Leave or left is the action of where the object, your keys, your phone, where they are in your home, for example. Now we've got this next one. Leave the food on the table, leave the clothes on my bed, leave the dishes in the sink. Again, this is the action of where you are putting an object. So I can tell you, leave my phone on the desk, leave my phone on the table, leave the book on the table. When you tell someone leave your book on the table. You are saying, put the book on the table. It's the same thing. It's like with glasses. You can say, glasses, shoes. Actually, yeah. You can use this with take on and take off as well, like with clothing. So you can say, for instance, you can say, and keep, actually. This also has something to do with keep. So you can say, keep your shoes on. Don't take them off. Okay, so you've got your shoes and you walk into a person's apartment. You might take your shoes off. Okay, so take off, take off, take off. Put on, take off. Put on, take off. Now, if you do not want the person to take off their shoes, you can tell them, leave your shoes on. Don't take off your glasses, leave your glasses on. So this verb leave is used in different ways. It has more than one meaning as well. Next one, I can't remember. This is like forget. So I can't remember, meaning I forgot in the past. An old factory. Okay, factory simply is where something is made. So, for instance, you have an Apple factory or Apple factories in China where Apple products are made, like my laptop, my phone. These things are made in a factory. So, like this one, number 13. This is a factory. And finally, work hard. Work hard. You can also use this with study hard, train hard, play hard. This is to do when trying to do an activity to where you are trying to achieve a goal. So if you like to watch sport and you're watching football, you want your team to play hard. You want your team to work hard. You want them to really, really try. And it's the same when learning a subject. If you want to get good at the subject, you need to study hard. Okay. Now, it doesn't go with every word. It doesn't go with every word, every verb. It only goes with some verbs. So you can work hard, you can study hard, you can train hard, you can play hard. Those are the 4 verbs you can use hard with. Please do not say cook hard. Cook hard it does not make sense. Please do not say learn hard. Learn hard is not a word. So you can work hard, study hard, train hard, and play hard. Okay? Those are the 4 verbs you can use hard with, which makes sense. You can use it in a good context. Now, let's move on. We are now going to look at some more verbs. In this case, we're going to look at page 70 we need to match the verbs in the box with the words and phrases. So, for instance, here in number 1, we've got take. So, take an exam. You've got a few actually. So, you can take an exam. Okay, you can take a test. You can, which is the same thing. You can take a friend to the airport. Okay, so this is take a friend to the airport. I can I'm going outside. I can take my coat or my jacket with me. Okay. So what words are we looking at here? So take an exam, take a test. If I take an exam, I do an exam. So let's look at the synonym. Not the food. Synonym. Okay. Take an exam, do an exam. Take a test, do a test. Take a friend to the airport means you drive them to the airport. Okay. So you put them in, they are in your car and you drive them to the airport. Take my coat simply means wear my coat or put on my coat. Okay. So that is what these words, that's what the verb means in different contexts. And this is, again, very important. When we learn a new word, we need to see what the synonyms are and how we use them in different ways. Let's look at the next one. Hard. Okay, this is going to be work. So, like we said, we can work hard and study hard, and we can. Okay, sorry, we can work hard, we can work in a factory, or like I am doing at the moment, I can work at home. Now, I should say, we can also say I can work from home. Those are two different prepositions we can use to mean the same thing. So I work at home at the moment. I can also say I work from home as well. You can work in a school, you can work in a hospital, you can work in a factory, you can work at an airport, you can work hard, obviously, as well. So, what does this? When we talk about work, it means what you are doing as well, your job. Don't forget, work, okay, for instance, is the verb to use when you are talking about your job, okay, which is a noun. Don't forget, job is a noun. So you need to remember that. If you're talking about your job and you're talking about what you do, it is your work. Okay, let's look at the next one, number 3. Okay, number 3. You study law at university. Now, in this case, you study English at a language, for example. You can study hard, so you can study hard for your level test, for example, and you can study for an exam. So you can study for an English exam. You can study for any exam. Okay, good. If you have any questions, please ask. Next one, number 4, travel. So you can travel to a country. You can travel to Japan, travel to the UK. I want to tell you something here. If you use the word visit, do not put a preposition. You would say, visit Japan, visit the UK. I cannot use a preposition after visit. So I can travel to a place, but I can travel to Japan, but if I'm going to use the word visit, do not put to. I cannot say visit to Japan. Absolutely not. So travel to a country, yes, but visit a country. So there are some verbs where we do not use a preposition. Visit is one of them. You can travel a long way. So if you traveled from South America or Japan or South Korea, you will have it's a long journey, so you traveled a long way. In the past, you would say I traveled a long way. Okay, I see a question from LVS.com. What is the difference between travel and trip? Good question. Travel is the verb. Trip is a noun. And trip is closer to the word of maybe holiday, vacation. It can be a short break, like a short holiday, for example. So that's the difference. Travel is the verb. Trip is a noun, and it's like holiday or a vacation. So, and the verb with trip is different as well. You don't travel on a trip. You take a trip. You take a trip. That's something else. So you can take a holiday. You take a trip. So that's the same. I had a trip in Europe. Okay, good sentence, Maria. Just one different thing, and it's to do with the preposition. You take a trip, and then we have to look at the preposition. So let's say instead of I had a trip, I had a holiday. Okay, with trip, I want you guys to use the word take or took. So I took a trip to Europe, for example. You can say I took a trip. I took a trip round Europe, for example. If you're going to different places as well, the preposition might change. I had a trip in Europe. The thing is, Europe is a continent. So if you're going to Europe, you're probably going to different countries. So this is why I would say, Maria, for you, I would say I took a trip round Europe. I think that would be more accurate. So with a trip, take. That's the normal one. You can also use go. So you can go on a trip, or you went on a trip around Europe. Spund better your answer. Maria, spund better your answer. Oh, sound better. All right, sound better. Okay, cool. Thank you, Maria. Okay. And travel to Japan, travel a long way. Number 5, a lot of money, a list, something to eat. Okay. This is going to be make. So you make a lot of money. You can make a list. You can make something to eat. You can make friends. You can make a dish. Like I can make pizza. I can make spaghetti. I can make a cake, for example. I can make has to be something creative. I can make a song. I can say yes, it has to be something that is creating. Okay, so that takes us through the different words. Yeah, excellent. What time is it? We've got 20 minutes left. So let's look at some grammar. We are going to look at the present continuous. Now, remember, the present continuous is about an action that is happening in the moment, in the present. The action is happening, and it's going to continue to happen into the future. It depends what type of action. Sometimes this is an action that can only happen in the moment, for like an hour, like I am teaching at the moment. And then there's other types of actions that are happening over a longer period of time. So, for instance, a different example, okay? I am giving a lesson. Now, a lesson is 1 hour on YouTube, for example. So the action is continuing for an hour. I am giving a lesson. Now, what if we are living in a place? Well, you might be living in Malta for 6 months. So the action continues for 6 months. Therefore, you say, I am living in Malta. This period can go on for a long time. I am, if you're watching a football game is 90 minutes. Therefore, you can say, I am watching the game. So the action is going to happen for 90 minutes. Now, let's say a TV series. Game of Thrones, for example, okay? Game of Thrones, you have many seasons, and it might be the series you are watching. It might take you, let's say, if you were to watch all the seasons of Games of Thrones, it might take you 3 months, for example. So You can say, I am watching a Game of Thrones. And that might happen for 3 months. So the context makes a difference of the length of time. But let's look. Okay, questions. For instance, what are you studying? Okay, so that's a question. What are you studying? Q is for question. I'm waiting for. Oh, okay. I'm just going to quickly answer your sentence because LVS.com, that is nearly 100%. That is 90% correct. So really well done. That's a very good sentence. We're just missing one little word. I'm waiting for actually 2 words. The coronavirus to end. Remember, you are always waiting for something to end. You are waiting for something to end. Same with I am waiting for the bus to arrive. So if you use the word waiting plus you need the preposition to. I'm waiting for something plus to plus happen, arrive, end, start, finish. I'm washing my clothes. Yes, Maria. That is a good present continuous sentence. So I just want to talk about waiting. When you use the verb waiting, you're waiting for something to. You're waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for something to arrive. You're waiting for something to end. You're waiting for something to start. You're waiting for something to finish. That structure does not change. No, it does not change. If you remember that, that is a good structure to remember. So maybe your question, for example, is what are you waiting for? And the answer, I am waiting for my lesson to start. If the question is what's she's studying, answer, she's studying English. She's studying English. What about negatives, positives? A positive. So the question, where's he traveling to? He's traveling to Spain. If it's a negative, let's say sick, when someone's sick, maybe the question actually is, what's the matter? Now you will notice, what's the matter? We can use the present simple, or what's the problem? And we can answer in the present continuous when there's a negative, such as he's not feeling well. She's not She's not feeling 100%. She's not feeling 100%. So if it's a negative, the question can be in it's present simple, like what's the matter, what's the problem, and you can answer in a present continuous, negative present continuous, because the problem is in the present. So what's the matter? The TV is not working. What's the matter? The car isn't starting. What's the matter? The internet isn't working. So that is something to remember. You can use the present continuous in the negative form when you are answering a question where there is a problem. Let's see, Maria. Matter and problem is the same, is the same, not means, same meaning. Same meaning? The answer is yes. What's the matter? What's the problem? You've got lots of different words for this. So it's synonyms of each other. You've got matter, problem, issue, situation. These can all be used to mean the same thing. So what's the matter? What's the problem? Same for when people are sick, for example. You can also say, what's the, if you know there's a situation, so what's the situation? What's the issue? Now, this is when you're going to start talking about something specific. So that's a maybe a little bit of a difference. Matter and problem is when something something general. Issue and situation is when you're going to talk about something a little bit more specific. So, for example, what's the matter? Oh, I'm not feeling well. Why? What's the? No, that's not a good idea. I'm going to also say this: issue and situation. Usually more work rather than health. Let's go through the conversation with health. So, what's the matter? What's the matter? I'm feeling sick. Oh, really? Why? What's the problem? I have I am feeling very tired, for example. Okay? So the mat and problem. The more I think about it, the more you can use it for general and specific. But when we talk about health, we use words like matter and problem. If it's to do with work, you can use matter, problem, issue, situation. That's when they have lots of different meanings. Situation. That's when you have lots of different words. So when you talk about health, use matter and problem. Health, you want to use matter and you want to use problem. If it's a problem with work, you can use matter, problem, issue, situation. You've got more words to use. So I am going to give you guys the opportunity to write some of your own questions and answers. And trouble. Oh, good question. Ooh. Okay, trouble is definitely a synonym. Trouble is not to do with, if we use trouble, we're not going to use it about physical health. We're not going to use it to talk about a physical problem. Trouble is to do with, in this case, when there's a problem, it's to do with up here, mental. Trouble is like worry. In this context, it's like worry. Trouble. So I'm not talking about classroom, like a student in trouble. It's not like this in this context. We use trouble like worry. So it is troubling, meaning the situation makes me worry. You could say, what is troubling you? That could be the question. What is troubling you? Which is the same as what is making you worry. So in this context, when we talk about health or problems, we use trouble to do with worry, like the mind. Now, trouble has different meanings, but because LVS.com, you asked about the word trouble in relation to a problem. When we talk about trouble and a problem, we use trouble to talk about worry, our worries. So we can say the coronavirus is troubling. This is because the coronavirus makes you worry. Makes you worry. Makes you worry about family, friends, money, health, lots of different things. So that is how we can use the word trouble when we're talking about a problem, but it has to be a worry. So guys, I am going to ask you a question in the live chat comment section. I would like you to try and answer the question. So let's start off with, what TV series are you watching? So I'm going to give you guys the opportunity. Please write in the present continuous and answer my question. What TV series are you watching? If you are not watching any TV series at the moment, please tell me as well. But then you need to use the negative form of the present continuous. So I am going to give you 1 minute for those of you watching to try and answer the question. While I wait for your answer, I am going to tell you my answer. If I were to answer this question, I would say I am watching a TV series called Person of Interest, which is a very good series. It's about people in New York. It's to do with someone who in the past was in the CIA, and he works for a rich billionaire who is a computer genius, and they try to go about saving people. So, LVS.com, I am not watching any TV series. However, I am watching a good movie. Now, the first part of your sentence, excellent. I'm not watching any TV series. Second part, however, I'm watching a good movie. Now, my question to you, LVS.com, is this a movie you're watching now, or are you watching more than good movies? Now, the reason why I ask is because a movie goes on for maybe 2 hours. So we can only use the present continuous for how long the movie goes on for. If you are watching many good movies, then you can say, I am not watching any TV series, but I am watching a lot of good movies, which tells me that you are watching more than one movie. Maria, I'm waiting to watch House of Paper this weekend start. House of Paper? I don't know. I have not heard of a TV series called House of Paper. I've heard of House of Cards, but not House of Paper. This weekend start? Do you mean this weekend you will start? Or maybe this weekend it will start? I recommend Miracle in Cell 7. Okay, Maria, thank you very much. I will look into that. Casa de Papel. Okay, now I understand. Okay, yes, it's this, yes, Latin movie, Casa de Papel. Okay, I didn't translate it into English because when I watched a bit of Casa de Papel, I watched it in Spanish, and in the movie is in the name of the movie is in Spanish. We don't change it back into English. Leon, Philip, I'm watching some TV series, for example, Elite and Freud. Good, that's a good sentence. Just remember, Philip, you are talking about more than one TV series. Therefore, you need TV series. You need the S on series. LVS.com, Money Heist. Yes, that is a good TV series. Money Heist. Is that a film or TV series? I have been told about Money Heist. I don't know if it's a TV series or just a movie. Let me know in the comments section if it's a movie or a TV series, LVS.com. Okay, so guys, you gave some really good examples, some very good sentences, very well done. The construction, the making of your sentences were good. You all managed to make the present continuous, which I'm very happy to see. The little bits of language that you guys need to you need help with are the smaller bits of language, like the plural s, maybe using the right preposition, which are small things that we can correct. Let me just look up myself, actually. Money Heist. So it's a TV series. Okay, I should look into this. Money Heist. Okay, I will look into Money Heist. Is it good? I assume it is good because you have recommended it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining this beginner lesson. For you, I know we have some people joining the conversation who might not be beginner, but might be elementary. or maybe higher. Um, what I would say is if I speak too quickly, please let me know in the comments section. LVS.com, awesome lesson. Thanks, Richard. Thank you very much, LVS.com, for your nice feedback. I hope you have a very good day. If you guys want to join me later, I am giving two more lessons today, one at 3:30 and one at 5 o'clock Maltese time. Maltese time. Please like the video, share the video, and let other people know about the lessons happening this afternoon. Maria Rojas, see you in the afternoon, Richard. Maria, thank you very much. I will see you this afternoon as well. Have a good day, have a good lunch, and I will see you guys later. For those of you who wrote in the live chat, thank you very much. It's always really great to see people comment in the live chat section during these live videos. It is difficult when we're not in a classroom. So to see you guys try to participate in the lesson is really good. Thank you so much, guys. See you guys later this afternoon. Bye for now.